Things that could happen in World of Warcraft Midnight that would suck the most. At least to me personally. See? That's my character, Tauren Paladin. That's my stake in this. Alright, opening cinematic. Xal'atath is gonna wreck Silvermoon. Lor'themar wants all hands on deck to defend it, and Liandrin is really into the Bible or whatever. Well, turns out Liandrin has the right idea because... oh, dip. Here comes the Army of the Light. You want paladins? You got paladins. Human paladins, blood elf paladins, Draenei paladins covered in crystals and whatever heck. There might even be some dwarf paladins in the back there with the one Tauren. But it's mostly elves. So many elves. And that's because Midnight is the elf expansion. Alright, cool. We get to see all the different flavors of elves coming together at the cookout. But this is the version of Midnight that would suck the most. So the only elves that get any attention will be the Blood Elves, whatever High Elves are still around, and the Void Elves, of course. Other elves? Nah, who cares? It's the elf expansion, but only the cool elves. The uncool elves can hang out underground with the Heronir and worship Awa or whatever. So what's the big bad up to in this most sucky version of Midnight? You know, Xal'atath, the hot elf chick who really likes messing with that other hot elf chick? Well, turns out she isn't actually evil. She actually has a secret plan that has never been hinted at before, and it basically boils down to her wanting to get everyone onto her side so that she can unite them to fight off an even bigger and badder threat. Of course, we never learn what the bigger and badder threat is, but rest assured, it's big and bad and totally worth whatever horror Zal inflicts upon the land. While this is happening, we take a pit stop at Windrunner Spire, because we clearly need more lore about the Windrunners. But not like their dead brother or their parents or really anyone other than the three sisters. Oh yeah, we're gonna get even more juicy lore details, like Varisa's minor league baseball phase, that time Sylvanas tried to bake a cake and it went crazy, or a touching childhood memory of that time Illyria was really upset at school because she called the teacher mom and all the other elf kids laughed at her. All of this to set up the big reveal. Who comes back but Sylvanas Windrunner, fresh from the maw, and what's this? She's alive again! Back to save her beloved homeland of Quel'Thalas. No more spooky undead Sylvanas, or like anything to do with the Forsaken. Ew. There's also a bunch of stuff about Eretor, and how he's pulled between the light and the void. Even though Illyria didn't get all voidy until after she had him, and he was basically raised by Varisa, but here, he's genuinely torn between the light that's bright and happy and gives him candy and stuff, and the void that's brought nothing but suffering into his life. He's over here going, I just can't decide. Of course, it turns out that he's about to find a balance between both, and nobody has ever done that before. Eretor will be the first wielder of both, and this will set him up to be the final hero of the expansion, wherein he'll go up against Warcraft's forgotten son, Modan. And they're gonna have a really cool fight and the build-up's gonna be awesome. But then they decide they're gonna be best friends, and Modan is chosen to be the new war chief of the Horde. No more councils, just Modan. Finally, the last patch of the expansion will have Illidan show up and start dating the hot, no longer undead, alive again Sylvanas. And they're gonna have a kid, and that kid is gonna be the coolest character ever. In fact, Illidan and no longer undead, alive again, hot elf Sylvanas' new magical chaos order light dark undead nature decay whatever super baby is going to be a titan, making him the titular last titan of the next exciting expansion, World of Warcraft, the Last Titan. And that is how the most sucky version of World of Warcraft Midnight would go down. I'm sure whatever it is they end up doing, if they do it well, they do it well, but like, I swear, if they bring back not undead Sylvanas, that's just, guys, no. Ugh, God.